Hey everybody, Keith Hilson at the Trombone Shop at Schmidt Music. One of the things I love about our YouTube channel is that we get so much great interaction, and we get viewers interacting with each other, and we get folks asking a lot of questions. One of the items that I've been asked most often to review has been the Denis Wick Heritage series of mouthpieces. So Denis Wick has got a number of different series of mouthpieces. They've got their classic design. They've got their heavy top version with a heavier blank. They've got some euphonium specific pieces, and then they have the Heritage series. We've done a few other Denis Wicks. We haven't done these yet. So I've got one of the Denis Wick Heritage here. This is specifically the 5BL, and I'm going to be playing all of this on a Con 88HO. Take a listen, see what you think about this, and we're going to talk a little bit about it after. There are a couple things that really make the Heritage series very unique in the Denis Wick line, and frankly, among a lot of trombone mouthpieces overall. Probably the biggest thing for me is the rim shape. So, as you can see there, in comparison with a lot of other rims, it's really, really flat. Now, one of the things I say in general about the Denis Wicks is even like the classic series tend to have just a little bit flatter rim. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people find them fairly comfortable. So I think the Heritage series kind of takes that to an extreme. It's a very flat, fairly wide rim, really. And then, of course, they have a whole variety of different cup depths. So the 5BL here is going to have a, kind of a medium deep cup, not quite as deep as like the 5AL there. But one of the things, we have had a few of these in the past, and kind of my biggest recollection of those mouthpieces from that time is that they were really stable in loud settings, in sustained notes. They really locked in place really nicely, but they didn't have as much flexibility. This kind of bore that out again. It kind of reminded me a lot of that. Now, what I didn't remember was the tonal quality. I really like the timbre. Now, again, I was playing on a fairly light horn, the 88HO. I mean, it's not an instrument that's known for necessarily having a huge, broad, sound, especially if you're trying to put some energy through it, tends to brighten up, get a little more focused. I thought this mouthpiece actually balanced really nicely with that, and I felt like I was able to get some real heft behind the sound. And again, I didn't remember that from before, so I really like that. but some of the other characteristics still stayed the same for me. I find that it is super stable. Once you get the note to play, it is not going anywhere, and it locks in place really, really well. For me, the trick is getting that to happen. I feel like even when I'm going through, I was trying to play, the Wagner and just really get things to, get that weight to it. It was happening, but there was a little bit of a hesitancy that, kind of sound to it. And especially when I was going through and playing some of the Telemann, where we needed to have a little bit more lightness to it, it just struggled with that a little bit. And there were a lot of times, I think, because of that little hesitancy in the response, where some of those faster runs, I just didn't get the clarity and the consistency in the response that I would have liked with it. I think similarly, I think getting a little bit cleaner articulation, trying to get a little bit more crispness on the front. Same thing, I think that struggled a little bit just because we weren't getting the initial sound response out of the mouthpiece. Going through it again, I felt it was, very comfortable. The other thing that I found, I didn't play a lot about, of this in the excerpts, but the lower range, I think, responds really well. Getting down to the pedal register, it's really pretty darn responsive. It moves pretty easily down there. So I think it would, for me anyway, it would have to be a really particular situation. This is the kind of thing, like if all I was doing is playing, some orchestral works that just had a lot of big, fat, portions in it, where I was just more worried about sound. I wasn't worried about, response so much, and I just needed to get this perfect, focused, broad sound with a lot of weight behind it. This is something I could see really doing that. But if I was looking for a mouthpiece with a little more versatility, boy, I think I would struggle with this a little bit. But I'm glad that I came back to it, because again, there were some aspects of it that I hadn't remembered, and there are some things I really like about it, actually. So I hope you enjoyed this review of the Denis Wick Heritage series of 5BL. If you have any thoughts about what you heard, or if you have any experience with the Heritage series, or maybe how this compares against like the Denis Wick Classic or something else, please feel free to leave those comments below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to our channel. We appreciate having you as part of our community here, and we're always trying to create new content that is hopefully going to be interesting for you. And as always, you can check us out on all social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So thanks for watching, everybody.